It just so happened I finished 8th grade and my parents were looking into high schools when someone my dad works with told him about North Point. It just so happened that the coworkers' kids went to North Point and were having a blast at the school. It just so happened I didn't want to go to North Point because all of my friends from junior high were going to Apollo or Moon Valley. It just so happened that I watched a ton of Prep TV videos that summer, hoping to prove to my parents that North Point was a dumb school. It just so happened that the more videos I watched, the more I started to like the school, because the videos were crazy weird. It just so happened, while I was sitting in algebra class one day, this random girl came up to me and asked, "Hey, you're tall, why don't you play basketball?" It just so happened that I tried out for the JV basketball and made the team. It just so happened that the random girl who asked me also made the team. It just so happened, early one Friday morning of my junior year, someone drove into the light pole by the north parking lot. It just so happened that the school sent out an emergency text around 6:15 a.m. and told everyone that they would send out another text at 7 a.m. saying whether school was canceled. It just so happened it was April Fool's Day that day. It just so happened everyone from school was on Twitter tweeting about the situation. It just so happened I decided to post a tweet. It just so happened my tweet said that the text wouldn't come out exactly at 7 on the dot because the 222 show during class competition weeks didn't even come on at the right time. It just so happened someone showed the tweet to Mr. Gao. It just so happened Rock Lobster Week came around, and while I was in my 7th hour class, my teacher got a call and said someone was on the phone for me. It just so happened it was Mr. Gao on the phone, and it was 2:22, and he made me stay on the phone with him until 2:25. It just so happened that he called me every day in class at 2:22 that week and would stay on the phone with me until 2:25 and then hang up and start the 2:22 show. It just so happened that several weeks later, Mr. Gao said that Alondra, the host of 802 Live that year, had AP testing and couldn't film the morning show, and he asked me to guest host for her. It just so happened I ended up liking it and decided to host the following year. It just so happened my senior year with hosting the 802 Live show was one of the best experiences of my life, and I made so many fun and unforgettable memories traveling to the World Series and the inauguration. It just so happened, ever since I was little, my dream was to go to Arizona State University. It just so happened that this past March, I fainted in the kitchen while I was cooking dinner with my mom. It just so happened, 5 months later, after many tests and having a loop recorder put inside my chest, which is where it's at right now, they still don't know why I pass out sometimes. It just so happened that because I pass out, I'm not able to drive. And instead of going to ASU, I will be attending Grand Canyon University to be closer to home. It just so happened that I was awarded the top scholarship at GCU, and because I'm on this side of town, I can work here at North Point as an intern for the 802 Live show. I'll be honest, right now, I'm not where I thought I would be. I thought I would be getting ready to move into the dorms at ASU's Tempe campus. I thought I was going to be a Sun Devil and fulfill a lifelong dream of graduating from ASU. I'm only 18, so my story is just beginning. There will be many more it just so happened moments in my life, and when they're looked at individually, provide insights into the experiences that have shaped me, and when linked together, can help me identify what I should be doing. I had no intention of playing basketball my freshman year, but because I did, Belen, the random girl that I mentioned, is now one of my closest friends. I had no intention of hosting the 802 Live show my senior year, but because I watched so many Prep TV videos over that first summer, and then I continued to watch them, I was familiar with what it was about and thought it would be fun. Sometimes our dreams can take a detour. When that happens, we can give up, or we can look back on the just so happened moments in our story and find purpose in what we're doing now. I didn't have aspirations of attending Grand Canyon University or working here at North Point. But because I can look back over the it just so happened moments in my story, I know exactly where I'm supposed to be. So here's what's interesting. If you take out just one of the just so happened moments in my story, I'm not here right now. Just think, if that lady didn't take out the light pole that morning, my entire senior year would have been so different, and I wouldn't be standing here today.